Lev, what is this?
Boy, life sure is boring right now.
Lev.
If only I had a fairy wish prince to grant me a...
Is this the guy that animated Rebecca?
Yes.
I love how you just knew that. I love how you just knew that.
I love
how I knew that. What?
Remember, he said, I love you, Rebecca.
I love you, Rebecca.
I saw a video that you were doing when you were in Manhattan walking around. It was very isolated. My favorite part was when you were in Rockefeller Center.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, just like one dude ice skating.
I know. It was crazy. And that was the first day. I think that was filmed the day before the official lockdown began as well. So it's actually gotten way worse because we moved, again, as I said, we moved uptown just yesterday. So I was in Times Square yesterday, the day before. And that was a few days after the lockdown officially happened. And let me tell you something, it is so dead. There are barely any cars. It's insane. I've never seen Times Square so dead in my entire life. There's literally like nobody on the street. It's insane. And then Rockefeller Center, forget it. Nobody in Rockefeller Center. Nobody on Fifth Avenue. Nobody on Broadway. The theaters are all completely shut. The restaurants are all completely shut. It's absolutely insane. It's the craziest thing. But then yesterday when we moved uptown, we're in Washington Heights, and like all of a sudden it's like they don't know. It's like they didn't get the memo. I don't know what to tell you. It's like they don't read the news or something. Cause like come up here and it's like a block party. Like no joke. Like it's like there were so many people outside. There were like people like barbecuing in the park. I'm like, did you not, this isn't social distancing. Like what are you doing? So it's so crazy to see the stark contrast between Times Square and touristy areas and like coming all the way up to like Washington Heights. And everybody's like, we don't give we don't give a absolutely not. We do not care. We're all out. It doesn't matter. It was like insane. It was like a normal summer day yesterday. It's better to be doing quarantine where we are right now because it's a much bigger place.
Mm-hmm.
It's like when you're locked down with someone, it's like, oh, I love you, but need some space. You know what I mean? Like, so, and it just gets a little bit tight. I feel like when you're with multiple people in a smaller space for a long period of time. But I mean, everything's balanced because probably in a day or two, I'm going to feel lonely. So I don't know. So it's like you can't really win either way. But it's not that bad because, you know, I mean, I've been talking to you. I'm talking to a lot of other friends.
Well, I wonder if this is going to have a slightly different result where before people may not have been as social via webcams. They were just going into whatever websites or social networks or messages.
Yeah.
But now, since people need so much face-to-face activity, since they're lacking it in person, maybe this is going to rebalance things a bit.
I really think so. I really agree with you. I've had multiple friends. I've talked to multiple friends who, generally speaking, when we do talk, it's just via text. But I've had more friends say, hey, like, let's do a video call. You know what I mean? I think people are starting to feel a little bit isolated now that it's something like day 8 of quarantine. So, I mean, I kind of like that. In a way, it's sort of like I'm connecting with people more than I did before because I work from home anyway, right? So, you know, while everyone else is going out and connecting with their coworkers, I just kind of sit at home working for myself and by myself. So in a way, it's sort of nice that everybody's quarantined at home because it's like, you have to talk to me now.
Yeah, no more excuses.
You're bored now, aren't you? Yeah. So it's nice. For me, it's nice. Yeah, for like independent creators who are alone all the time anyway, it's kind of nice because you're like, I'm used to this anyway.
Yes, and especially for the NEETs, like especially in Japan and South Korea.
They're like, yes!
Welcome to my world, bitch.
Yeah, except no one's talking to them now anyway either. Like, it's like everybody's at home, but no one's talking to them.
They're just talking to those anime AI girls. I mean, some of those are automated.
Natsumi is real, and she does love me.
Some of them actually do have some weird Asian guy who's controlling the puppet, so to speak. Like there is a video where you could see of this
What are
this
you
fat guy.
talking about, Lev?
There is a
You're
video.
so crazy.
There is a video of this guy who's moving his lips and his body around, and then we see this blue-haired anime girl being present instead of him. So whenever people are now interacting in these live chats with these anime girls, it's probably just one of these guys who, is willing to bite the bullet and entertain the troops.
Oh, that's hilarious. So it's just like some guy like, and it looks like.
The one group of people that I'm not really seeing that much happiness from as far as their lockdown state are celebrities. So I don't know.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen the videos of what's her name, Ellen DeGeneres playing cards and not really knowing what to do with herself. It just seems like celebrities, as far as entertainment goes, have always been this royalty that's been catered to by a whole entourage. And now that the entourage is gone, now that the writers are gone, what do you have left?
Right.
Now they're competing with independent creators head to head. And it's pretty obvious that as far as independent creators go, they haven't had the same luxury of a writer's room.
Yeah. It's actually so interesting you say that. And that's a really, really good point, because I think independent creators in a crisis like this, independent creators I predict aren't going to be affected that much. Just because we're already used to this, right? We're already used to like having to create our own content. We're already used to having to write it. We're already used to going to basically having to film it ourselves. Do you know what I mean? So nothing really changed for us. But for, actual like quote unquote celebrities who have whole teams of people help them with things like the writing, the makeup, the absolutely every element of it. I imagine it would be much harder on them. And just in terms of general work, they would feel a negative impact far more than independent creators would.
And we may be seeing the final titter of their power, because even when they had the writing staff and all that, they still got very abysmal results. Like they still, like on YouTube, where they put out these celebrity videos, like a PSA, they really want to shove it down people's throats, what to think. And people always react negatively to that kind of stuff.
Well, yeah, I think it's a generational thing too. I think our generation and the one under us at this point too is just so much more I think they're so much more concerned with authenticity, as opposed to that sort of like shiny veneer of what's beautiful and what's enviable and what do I desire and what do I want. I think that relatability is something that our generation seems to like a lot. I think that's something that our generation seems to emphasize more than our parents' generation, right? So I think that's the thing. Like celebrities, they're not celebrities because they're relatable. That's not their thing. Do you know what I mean? But like independent creators, it sort of feels more like, I think the appeal is it sort of feels like a friend. And people like that. And I mean, maybe the friend, because a lot of these creators are incredibly attractive or incredibly wealthy or whatever. But then it's like, it feels like you have an incredibly wealthy or an incredibly attractive friend, as opposed to here's this untouchable, incredibly wealthy, attractive person. And so obviously people prefer to feel like it's someone they can relate to, right? Like when I'm thinking about what I'm going to watch, generally speaking at this point, I watch YouTube content. I don't really watch Netflix that much anymore. I mean, movies, like hardly ever. Netflix sometimes. But for the most part, if you were to ask me, what do you want to do with your time, your leisure time, I'm going to say watch independent creators on YouTube. It just feels more, I don't know, it feels more interactive in a way, because it feels like you're just talking to your friends.
Well, you mentioned before Nerd Writer is your favorite YouTube channel, right?
Oh man, that's probably like one of my favorite YouTube channels of all. That and School of Life are my two favorite YouTube channels. Yeah.
What are some other ones that you like watching, like guilty pleasures, like something that isn't really for learning, but just
Yes, I do have one. I am like every other white girl. We all love, I don't know why this is a thing. It's like it's written in our DNA somewhere. All white women like to read, watch, consume any type of content that is related to serial killers.
I knew you were gonna say that.
I know. See, I know.
Yes.
I know, because it's such a trope. It's such a, all white women love that, and we do. I don't know why. I don't know why we literally all love it. Every white girl I know, if I want to become friends with them, I'm like, you know what we should do? We should like have a marathon of like some serial killer docuseries. And they're like, yes. Like all white girls love it. So there's this one channel. I absolutely love this girl. Her name is Stephanie Harlow. And basically she just goes into she goes into detail. I mean, like these videos get really heavy about all of these high profile cases. Some aren't so high profile. They're not always murder cases, but they generally are. She does, cases from the past, cases that are going on right now. And her videos are so in-depth. They're usually like anywhere from an hour to 2 hours long. Also, Jeffree Star. I like Jeffree Star, I have to admit. That's like a makeup channel.
I've heard of this guy. Let me see a picture of him. I just want to...
He's a trip.
Wow.
Something else. Yeah, he's a trip. I'm obsessed.
He looks magical.
He is magical. That's really the only way to describe it. He's a magical, sassy man. Just so sassy, so gay, if you couldn't tell.
He reminds me of this animation I saw, which I'll send you later, called Fairy Wish Prince.
Fairy Wish Prince. It already sounds great and accurate. Can I look it up now? Can I look it up?
Yes. Look it up now. Oh God, I don't even know. Okay.
Lev, what is this?
Boy, life sure is boring right now.
Lev.
If only I had a fairy wish prince to grant me a... Oh,
is this the guy that animated Rebecca?
Yes.
I love how you just knew that. I love how you just knew that.
I love
how I knew that. What?
Remember, he said, "I love you, Rebecca."
I love you, Rebecca.
Yeah, when I was at SVA, I always used to watch the Newgrounds cartoons and all of Stamper's stuff and all his rap music. I memorized all of Stamper's raps.
I've actually never met it. I've never met anyone who's seen that animation or like admitted to seeing it.
I met Stamper too. I was at Pico Day back in 2016. And
how was it?
Oh, it was beautiful. I got to meet all these amazing Newgrounds animation people, hang out with them. It was great.
Yo, I can't believe it, Lev. I literally went, is this the kind of animator Rebecca? Yes.
Yeah, no hesitation whatsoever. Just like that.
Somehow I knew too. Like that just shows like how much that animation just like was absorbed into my brain. Okay, I'm gonna watch Fairy Wish Prince. He's like, life is so boring. If only I had a Fairy Wish Prince. Like it's so specific.
30 minutes later.
Stamper's been around forever, just like Mark M. And in fact, both of them did raps together. They have a song called Triple Penetration, where... So one of the big Newgrounds animators, Singe, who's responsible for the animation in Alien Hominid and Castle
yes!
Crashers.
Oh, Alien Hominid was sick.
Yeah, it's a great game. And Castle Crashers, I don't know if you ever played that one, but very nice game as well. Battle Block Theater, where Stamper did the voice of the narrator. So like this whole crew, they work together a lot. I believe Singe was nicknamed Sun Chips in that video. That's his rap name.
It says here, Stamper presents Blacktastic featuring Sun Chips and Dr. Arachnid.
Dr. Arachnid, that's Mark M.
Into your lips, check your big penis radar, and you'll see one giant. You shove a meat hook up your butt, and over your shit. And later on in my days, I'll
be pounding naughty bits of your closest female relatives while they're saying, "Oh, chips."
I need no introduction.
Oh, it sounds like
Please do. My cock is more powerful than a truck snowplow.
Okay, you know what it's kind of familiar to? It's a little bit like, it's that kind of sort of like cheeky sort of like what is it? Sweat, baby, Sex is Texas. Something.
No,
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 yeah,
I don't. No, I
no,
don't. I was too busy listening to Triple Penetration
no,
and
it's similar though. It's
clubbing.
a similar. No, you know that song, that one, that you and me, baby, ain't nothing but mammals. So let's do it like they do on the
Ah,
Discovery Channel. Do it again. No, that
yes, yes. Now I remember. But I think I remember that because of Eminem.
it's Bloodhound Gang, and the song is called "The Bad Touch." Okay.
Bad Touch.
It's
Second time.
similar. It's a similar style. Like it's kind of like the rapping style is similar, and then the lyrics are like pretty clever and cheeky. I should just quickly say I'm not coughing because I'm sick. I like whenever I eat almonds. I had almonds prior to filming this, and almonds always make me cough. I'm okay. Just letting everybody know. It's just the almonds, guys. Fine, I'm fine. It's almonds. I swear. I swear.
So there was a felony rap for coughing in the face of a paramedic. So this woman was arrested for assaulting her boyfriend, and she shouted, "I have the coronavirus," before intentionally coughing in the face of a paramedic who she sprayed with copious amounts of saliva. Police charge.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I mean, okay. Did she actually have it, or was she just trying to scare the paramedic?
She was subsequently transported to a hospital for further evaluation, though the court filing does not indicate whether she in fact has the infectious coronavirus.
Okay.
So it is a mystery. It is up to us to fill in whatever scenario we want here.
But she was criminally charged, though, correct?
She was criminally charged because when she was lying in a bed with the victim, she told him that she wanted to have sex. And the victim recalled that he declined to engage with her since she is leaving him to get back with her ex-husband. Rebuffed, Holmes became very agitated, at which time she roundhouse kicked the victim in the nose and then punched him in the nose. Cops allege.
That story was wild from start to finish. There's like not 1 second of that story that wasn't wild. So you're telling me this woman was trying to get it on with this fucking almonds. I swear, it really is almonds. I swear, you guys, I'm not dying.
A likely story.
Oh my God. So you're telling me that this woman was like, hey, like, let's get freaky. And the guy was like, no, because you're leaving me for your ex-husband. And apparently that was unreasonable. And this girl, wait, how does she roundhouse kick him? Weren't they in bed?
The physics of this are very improbable.
Like, how did she, like, what did she do?
She had to take a stance, probably, like in Mortal Kombat.
Like, stand up and go like, ah! Yeah, like I'm like,
yeah. Well,
like,
it has been revealed by the affidavit, mind you, that Holmes is a black belt in martial arts.
This is wild. This story is so wild. So this man rebuffs her, and she's like, you know what? I'm gonna break his nose. Like I don't know. It's wild. That woman sounds out of her. Well, first of all, yeah, she's out of her mind, clearly. And so, okay, she would have been charged anyway for that alone, because that's insane. But you can't just go around roundhouse kicking people in the nose.
I used to take Tai Chi, and there was a dude there in the Tai Chi class who was forbidden from ever coming into the Tai Chi class because he took his sword out in the subway. Like, we used to, I never got to that level, but the more advanced students of Tai Chi, they used to use the sword. It has like a little string on it. Like, you've probably seen it like in Chinatown.
I've seen it, yeah.
Yes. So the guy brandished his sword like he was living in the Middle Ages, I believe, in 2 different events, on the New York subway and at a baseball game. So he was begging to come back. Like, he wants to learn Tai Chi. But the master, who was like 90-something years old, like 97 years old, he's from Shanghai, like this old Chinese dude. I mean, he's passed away now. But he said, this is the last straw. No more Tai Chi for you. But the funny thing is that this guy, this was like the first day I went to Tai Chi class. Like, I was so excited. I was like, man, like, could you guys tell me how your life changed after you took Tai Chi class? I was speaking to that guy. He was like the one guy who was left when I came there late. And I went to a Japanese restaurant with him, and he was telling me about the wonders of Tai Chi.
He's like, I can tell you how my life changed. I have this sword now.
So it turns out, I mean, look, I feel sorry for him because it turns out that he has schizophrenia.
Oh, no. Oh, then he really shouldn't have a weapon.
No, he should not. And he told me a story about, like, he grew up in this, he went to, like, this Black Baptist church, and how the preacher always used to say that the devil was inside him.
Oh, no, you shouldn't say that
That's...
to a schizophrenic. Schizophrenics will take that very literally.
Oh, well, indeed he did. He told me about the voices that were in his head and that were telling him to do bad things.
Like what kind of things?
I don't think we went into detail over our rice balls.
You're just like, check please. Oh, okay, check.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting how, like, out of all the people who were in that Tai Chi class, he was the only one that was left with me at the end of the night. And then we went on to eat and, just talk about life. And later on, he came back to that Tai Chi class begging to be taught, but the master refused him. So the reason why I'm bringing this up is because I think that there are people out there who have schizophrenia who are otherwise very competent when it comes to actually doing these martial arts.
Right.
So like this lady, it's not like she was, like there are people who take spice and they go nuts. They end up ripping the fence off. They end up, eating people, cannibalism.
Bath salts.
Exactly, bath salts. So you would think with a situation like this, somebody coughing at a poor paramedic, that there would be something going on there that would impair their judgment to that extent.
Right. But, I mean, yeah, that's actually a good question. Was she on some type of drug? Because to just like roundhouse kick your boyfriend in the face, like maybe she was a little out of her mind. You know what I mean? Like maybe she was a little conked out, if you know what I mean.
Maybe, but the reason why I think it's not that, but it may be like some kind of a schizophrenia episode.
It could be. It could be schizophrenia.
It's so you have to be so accurate to roundhouse kick somebody right in the nose.
Yeah.
Speaking of nose injuries, last thing I'm going to say about that, I had a friend who got a little fluffy dog. He reached down and the dog bit his nose off.
What?
Clean off.
What? Oh, he got a little dog?
A little dog, yeah, like a little fluffy dog. He got engaged to this producer friend of mine, and they decided, let's adopt a dog.
So this was like a dog that was already fully grown up and abused and traumatized.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't know the exact details. They got it from a shelter, so
there we go. There we go. They got it from a shelter, so it was probably some like traumatized adult dog.
Yeah. No good deed. No good deed goes unrewarded.
He just bit his. So what did they do? Did they like sew it back on? What happened?
They took part of his scalp.
Oh. And
they attached it to the nose, so he had to shave his nose every morning because otherwise the hairs would start growing.
This poor bastard. Oh my god, a dog bit his nose. What did they do? Did they put the dog down? They probably put that dog down.
I don't know what happened to that poor dog.
That poor abused dog. Oh my god, that's terrible.
But to connect it with the other story, he was also into martial arts. He was into
he was.
He had a
was
pair
he
of
also schizophrenic?
No, I think he's all right. But he had a pair of
funny. Lev, you're the kind of person who I feel like you'd be like, yeah, I know like 10 schizophrenics. Who doesn't? Yeah, like every bit. Like, do you not know any schizophrenics? That's so normal.
I think, and later on, where we're going to have Donna Donatella on, I want to get all spiritual. We're going to talk about the I Ching, but I see this world that we're in right now. Like, even though I work similar to the way you're working, alone with this screen brightening me, I still get very fascinated by three-dimensional reality. That we are living in a three-dimensional world. Just think about it for a second.
Okay.
It's pretty fucking awesome, like you.
It's pretty fucking awesome.
It is. Like, imagine if we were 2D people.
I
all
know.
we could do is just like go up, down, and maybe
I
jump
know.
up.
It's pretty dope. I have to
Yeah.
agree. I'm
So
pretty into it.
that's one of the things that I think in this time of Corona, love in the time of Corona, we have
Love in the time of Corona.
to fall back in love with our 3D environment and the beautiful 3D people that surround us.
Yeah. You know what? I love that. That's a really positive note to sort of end things on. I really like that, Lev. Thank you.
Hell yeah, you're welcome. And with that, we shall bid you adieu. Please don't forget to smash that subscribe button, leave a like, comment, let us know what you think, and subscribe, and we'll see you guys next time.
See you guys next time.